All right, y'all. So you got the health inspector here. Go watch out, right? That's good. Now, I'm familiar with a lot of y'all. Hopefully, a lot of y'all probably been here before. Hey, there you go. Recognize some familiar faces. And do we have any new custodial staff members this year? All right. So it won't be too boring to everybody. What I'm here today is just to go over, we have an annual inspection. By the way, I'm Josh Jordan, like you said. We do an annual inspection per year on the school building, on the school fiscal year. We have 6 inspectors that do different regions throughout the county. And I counted 34 schools, I'm not sure if that's actually right. And grades do consider, we do issue grades between C, B, and A. So we do not post a score, but we do give this the grade. On the right is an example of inspection form. It's kind of hard to read. So what I like to do every year is just trying to give like a state of where we're at as far as our county schools are. And I've done a little bit different this year, but I want to go through every one of our, what we're looking for on our inspections. So this is kind of the breakdown of the sanitation scores. I did split them up this year between elementary, middle, and high school. And I wanted to bring out a couple points of that. We do have a lot more elementary schools than we do middle and high school, obviously. The scores, overall, all of our school systems are around a 94, which is about a mid-A, which is about where we've been, between a 94 and 95 about every year. So that's good. I mean, the scores on our inspections they are weighted fairly rough on people. So, and we'll talk a little more about that. But our elementary schools, I think, we have a little more control of our kids and stuff like that, so it made it a little easier to keep clean after them. Middle high school, the kids get a little more freedom, and it does get to be keeping up after them is a little harder, but you can see scores. What I'm going to do is we'll go down through the violations. There are 11 violations on there. The first 2, I'm going to go from least prevalent to most prevalent. Okay, so this right here, nobody's got a violation of sewage disposal. Thank goodness, right? No sewage backups. So we're looking forward to make sure we have an approved sewage system. There's no backups as far as sewage goes. Everybody here is on municipal sewer now, right? Okay. We used to have old sand bed systems and stuff like that, and now we don't have to worry about it. So thank goodness. Also, solid waste disposal. None of my 34 schools got marks for any type of garbage disposal or anything like that. Keeping our dumpsters clean, our pads cleaned up, make sure the dumpsters are in good repair, make sure our trash cans are kept clean in the building, and we're moving our trash out to keep away pests and other things in school. So again, nobody got marked for that. Water supply. When we're talking about our water supply, everybody does have a approved water supply, but we don't have any wells in the school system. When I was specifically talking about this, we did have one violation this year. I just want to bring it to everybody's attention so everybody's looking. And this is just a generic picture on the right, but we have a standard kind of can wash where we might fill our mop bucket or and on this specific faucet, there's a bell siphon, which is on the middle there, which is a backflow prevention device. But since that's an open hose, and it's going down below a flood rim, that can cause cross connection. And in the one school we had, I thought I'd bring some violations in this saying what we had. not saying anybody's school, but if a backflow prevention device is needed on the mop scene in the 4th, 5th grade janitor hall. So this showing, if y'all looking through y'all's janitors' closets, and we may not see every single one of them. We try to see a lot of the storage areas. Make sure that we do have approved backflow. And if it's an old faucet that doesn't have one, just please talk to your maintenance crew and see what they can do for you. So again, I think we have one violation out of 34, so not that often we get. School facilities. And a lot of these pictures do come from our schools over the years. This might not be something that's happened this past year, but of course, 9% of us have been counted off. High schools, pretty much coming from the high schools. 38%. This past year, elementary schools, middle schools did not get counted off for our school facilities. They did. Good job, guys. These will also include the floors, walls, and ceilings in the bathrooms. And you can see this case. We do have kids that do like to smoke and do other things, and a lot of times this is what happens. Just report it and stay on top of your areas, and just let people know that it needs to fix it. Keep them as clean as possible. Dressing rooms. Again, mostly high school and middle school because we don't have anything in elementary school like this. 15% of all the schools, about 29 to 38% of high school and middle school are getting counted off of this. About a third of our middle schools and high schools getting some kind of violation on the dressing room and showers. And even though they're not required to take showers, we do have to have the facility, as far as what we're looking at, to make sure they have it. So the ones that has facilities in their schools, we got to keep it clean and accessible. They should have a towel and soap for them available if they need it. That's more on the PE coach side, but we do want to make sure they're clean. A lot of these shower heads, they tend to leak over time, and this is the kind of building you do get on the right. On the left, I know it's hard to keep clean up there for these guys, so hopefully y'all can talk to your PE coaches and teachers, and hopefully they'll help you along with that to keep those areas clean. And we do also look at sinks, the paper towels, dispensers, soap dispensers, those kind of things in those areas. But I do want to say it has improved, though. Where we showed 33%, we're probably at 50, 60% a year or two ago. So we have improved. We just want to continue to do so. Drinking fountains. All these pictures did come to Daisy County at one time, but hopefully not like this anymore. 15% rate in all our schools. Pretty much even 11, 14, 25, 20 different types of schools. So we just basically want to keep our water fountains clean. On the far right, you see that pink ring around it. That happens a lot of times. Mildew gets around those, and they just need to be clean still. In the middle picture here, when the stream is not regulated, the child can keep their mouth off the fountain. And you try to get a work order on those kids as soon as possible. I also don't want them streaming so much that they're splattering all over the floor and causing a slip hazard. A lot of y'all have the rugs underneath them to try to prevent that. That's something we need to keep an eye on. Some of the violations this year, one says 2 water fountains stuck in one position in the central hallway. Others are discoloration of film, the faucet needs to be cleaned daily. So these are violations that people are putting on their stations. I just wanted to make sure that everybody realizes, even if it's not your school, it's something we need to address and make sure that we're looking at those, because we will be able to make them. Laboratory facilities. About 1 in 5 schools are getting counted off for something to do with this. This includes having paper towels and soap in all your bathrooms, sinks. Middle schools did not get counted off for this past year. Great job, guys. We just want to continue to look at these things, make sure we don't have any plumbing issues underneath their sinks, make sure the sinks are staying clean and everything's stocked. And on the right side there, soap dispenser, this is the actual trigger that gives you the soap. Also, one thing that has been mentioned this year, and you can look at me and I have said, a lot of these spring-loaded faucets, if they can hold it down and gives it a few seconds to wash your hands, I'm happy with it. But if they hold it down and it goes right back up, in my opinion, we need to get some of those fixed, because a child can't sit there and hold it and scrub both ends with just having one hand on it. So if y'all see the spring-loaded faucet like that, get me a maintenance person and see if we can get some of those fixed out. Okay? Storage spaces. Okay, so now we're getting to the ones that we see more often. 53% of our schools are getting cut off with some storage issues. And I know that's tough. And as you can see in the picture right here, that's the teacher's stuff. And the best thing y'all can do is talk to them and ask them to try to do that. But you probably ain't going to be very well liked if you're trying to move their stuff. So, elementary schools, especially our kindergarten, first grade classrooms, they tend to have a lot of stuff. So continue to talk to them, ask them, please, if all possible, we'd like to see 15 inches, but really, we just want it off the floor you can clean around. So, I think if it was 6 inches, I'd be happy, as long as you get a broom mop around, right? And so things that do get talked about on top of the classrooms, or like big bulk storages of paper, products that are coming into y'all as far as art classroom, even janitorial supplies. If they're coming in, and y'all can just get those moved out as best y'all can, quickly as y'all can, and so we can see the yard clean around it. And if you're honest with us and you say that just came in, then usually we'll take your word for it. But just make sure we are trying to move things out and get clean. Floors, walls, and ceilings. Again, 56%. So this is same as middle schools. This is one of their top. Middle schools, they had 3 violations. They had the exact same number counted off for 86%. So almost all of their schools we got counted off floors, walls, and ceilings. Elementary is their third most violated item. So looking just basic floor, wall, ceilings cleaning. Dirt and picture here we got mold growth. This is a last year picture, I think. Especially at these any type of units like this that provide moisture blowing out. This is what can happen. You get some leaks in the sun. We try to fix these right away. If there's any water damage areas in any of these materials, we can't get something repaired about 24, 48 hours. Some of these materials need to be replaced. Of course, this does. And I imagine it did get replaced, but we just want to make sure that we're looking at these areas. And of course, with our air quality in our schools, we want to make sure it's as safe as we can for our students. So please look at these areas. And we'll talk more if anybody wants to know. Light and ventilation. 68% of schools get off on most of the ventilation issues. Okay, so we do have some older schools here also. I just want to say that. When we're talking about ventilation, we're going to look at windows, even if they don't open windows. Windows, blind, window seals, HVAC units, all these things. We're going to look at and make sure they're clean. A lot of these grills, I think they try to get clean during the summer, but check on them and make sure they are getting clean, and report that to your maintenance. I think they do actually have to be taken apart by maintenance versus too. So just make sure they are getting clean, really as often as necessary. And number one, everybody can tell me what it's going to be. That's material and chemical storage. I'm also include pests and premises. 71% of the schools counted off for some kind of improper chemical storage or one of those things like that. So when we're looking at chemical storage, the rule says it has to be stored in a manner that's not going to pose a health hazard to the student. We pretty much say if it's not in the locked area, then it needs to be. It needs to be locked up. So this is spray disinfectants, air freshener, anything they have that they want to use for cleaning. We're okay with them cleaning, but when they're done cleaning, it needs to be locked up or give them back to y'all, put in y'all's service. Medicines, we shouldn't see medicines sitting around. And I know that's not y'all, that's the teachers again, but if y'all clean and y'all see it, please report it to them. Talk to your principals wherever you need to and make sure that they are keeping them locked up boxes. They have a lock box there, but looks like the time I was sitting outside. But they just need to be, these things need to things you may not think about, hot soil that has fertilizer in it, actually has chemicals, so you make sure this stuff's put away. Rubber cement, and you have that kind of stuff. A lot of different warnings in the back of this, especially young children that might be hurt or sick. That's basically the gist of our inspection. We come one time a year for the health inspection. Now, I'm here. There's a lot of other health issues we think about. We think about the flu season. We think about mold issues. And now's your time. If you have any questions, please ask me and see what we can and see if I can help you. One thing I would say is the flu. It's good to spray disinfect. Best time to do is when the kids are gone in the day. You can spray handles, door handles, tables, things like that. Keeping these areas cleaner will help reduce that and keep our kids in the classrooms. Does anybody have any questions on any of that? Or anything to do with health inspection? Yes, sir?
Do you have any sanitizer in the classroom?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, hand sanitizer.
Yes, sir. You can have hand sanitizer in the classroom. We don't want bulk storage of like large gallon containers of it. little hand pumps over. They want them, they can have them. You know, if you talk, you know, a lot of y'all have good relationship with the students, because I see it, especially elementary schools. These kids look up to you and stuff like that. You know, preach hand washing. That's the best. You know, we ask a health inspector what he wants. I want to see hand washing. I don't want to see hand sanitizing so much. Wash your hands really well. Y'all enter the bathrooms, you know, and hopefully teachers do too, but when they wash their hands, these faucets are not clean during the day because children, they use the bathroom, they hand on the faucets. And then they wash their hands and then they hand on the faucets. Y'all see them, y'all give them a little bit of, I hate to say parenting or something like that, but sometimes they need it. But sanitizer, yes, they can have it as long as they're small portions. Anything else? Anybody else got any burning questions or anything you want to ask? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, you got, when was this? Last year or this year? Right. Typically, you won't see that happen. I imagine the reason that happened is because we were getting someone trained from the state level, and we had to go to a school. Hopefully, he picked a school he thought was going to be good. It was Greg there. Maybe you know I lost Greg. He might have lost you. Okay. You know, typically, you know. It's been a, you know, as far as inspections goes, it's been a bad run of them going in the last month of school. I try to get one of mine in between a few of them done, but we do notice one time a year inspections, so it does kind of fall down to the end. But you know, if you have any questions, any concerns, just let us know. We'll get in there sooner. It has to be done now. School systems are not required to have hot water in their schools except for in the areas for the cafeteria. Okay, so the kitchens have to have hot water. They have to have at least 100 degrees for hand washing in those areas, and 110 degrees in the ware-washing areas of the kitchen. But the rest of the schools do not have hot water. Some schools are fortunate to have hot water, but not all schools are going to. When you're talking about warm water, and honestly, when you look at the science behind hand washing, warm water does not facilitate hand washing, but it is more pleasant during the hand washing phase, I think. So the main thing we're doing is the scrubbing, you know, the soap. Cold water do the same, but kids may not keep their hands under there as long because it's cold. But we got to work with what we have. So. I'm thinking of anything I can think of. Chemical storage is the big thing, and if you have a problem with your teachers, talk to your administration, and you know, please do the best you can. I know that every classroom has locked storage. A lot of people have some kind of locked storage, and we're just getting to utilize it. That helps out. But that item itself, I think, is 3 points right off the bat on inspection. That's why we see a lot of low scores. A lot of those are 3 points right there.
That's why I was going to say, like,
Yes, sir.
we try our best not to. If we see anything that's like a foreign chemical,
Yeah.
it just disappears.
Right. I know.
Get rid of it, but it's kind of hard to keep an eye on
I know.
all these teachers, and sometimes they'll sneak something in on us, and you know, and then you got to see it. We get just as surprised as you are.
I understand.
If something's in there like that.
What we've seen though in the past to kind of help you out here, and you can use us if you want to, as a way to give people, say, my health inspector said, or whatever, I don't care, as long as you're getting the point them. I've seen signs made up that says chemical storage in locked areas. I've seen people do that for different, especially science areas, like they want to get those science rooms. Now, I think pretty well in the high schools and middle schools, those science areas are kept locked up pretty well. So I think the fire marshal and maybe the building inspector goes in there also and looks at those. But if you need to use us as a reference to get somebody to do something, yeah, please. And if you see an issue where it's, especially if it's a danger to a child and somebody's not helping you, you can contact us and we'll try to come in.
It kind of goes back to what they said earlier about not having chemicals that don't have an SDS, you know.
Yeah, for sure. You don't want that, for sure. If that's the case, yeah, he's going to be right there with you and say, yeah, we got to get that out of here. Right. Yeah.
They'll say they listen to us, but then we're gone.
Right. And guys, honestly, I'm mean, I see the frustration in a lot of people, and when we come in, we're gonna count off what we see, but we understand from the standpoint, y'all can't get them to do everything you want. That's just what you have to do, is work in your relationship with the administration and those above you that can help. And, that's basically what we can do. And I really think y'all do a great job. I do brag about our school system a lot. And the reason I was putting those scores in, not to deter from high school versus elementary, but I do know that the high school age kids are just harder to deal with sometimes. But I mean, I just want to give you that kind of benefit of that doubt there. But just try to do your best you can and keep a positive attitude. That's all I was to say. Anybody else have any questions?
Thank you, Rob. Brown, he takes care of everything, Dr. Martin will take care of it.
I know we're hearing a lot today about safety and having clean schools. It starts with y'all every day. Our kids come to school every day, and that's their expectation, that's the parents' expectation. And when our parents come to our schools, our kids come to school, they have that good feeling about having a clean school and a safe school, y'all making a difference. That's the only way learning's going to take place in our schools, with your effort. And I know day to day things get tough, things get, you have to do different things different days, depending on emergencies and everything else that takes place. I want you to know that we back you up 100%. If you see things that aren't supposed to be happening, you see things that could put kids in danger or people at your school in danger, either talk with that faculty person face to face, okay? Don't be afraid to go to the teacher and say, I see something that's unsafe, I need to take care of this. If that doesn't work, go to your principal and talk to them in private about it. I've talked to so-and-so, they've got something in the room they shouldn't have there, okay? We want something to be safe. We want every school to be safe. We want everyone going to work to be safe. If you see something that's in danger in your school, let's take care of it. And you know that. You see it. Don't turn the blind eye and say, well, I'll take care of that later. Or that teacher, is friends with the principal or something like that. Make sure it gets taken place. Make sure it's taken care of. Because you got a conscience too. You don't want to come to work one day and hear something happened and you knew something about it. Okay? So I've been going through all the schools. I've been very impressed. Some of you I've been working with here. I've been very impressed with what you're doing here. And I know it's not an easy job. But let me tell you, when the parents come in and they come to your school and they see the pride that you take in your school, that's a reflection of you. It's a reflection of your pride, and it's what you're giving back to the community every day. So, just keep on doing what you're doing. Look at making things safer, making things better. Keep on doing that and have a good attitude about what you're doing. Be very successful here at Davidson County. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Travis. One note on that, we talked about PPE, personal protective equipment. Most of you have a person that you work with. If you see them doing something, they need their PPE, remind them. You may hate their guts. But if they get hurt out of work, who's got to pick up the slack? You got to pick up the slack. So you need to watch each other's back, okay? If they need their safety glasses on, tell them. If they're out there weeding with short pants or no safety glasses, you need to tell them. Because if it goes to a workers' comp and they're interviewed and they say, well, they didn't have their glasses on, it's not going to pay. Okay? We're going to take a short break. We'll be back in here at 1:30.